Hi, this is Carolyn, and I'm here with Aaron, and it's October, which is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we're doing something we've never done before, which is a joint podcast with Michelle from the Talk Tennis podcast with Tennis Warehouse. Unfortunately, both Michelle and I both had breast cancer, so we discussed a little bit about that, and Aaron talks about what it's like to see your friends go through it. So here it is.
Well, let's officially kick it off. Welcome to the collab you didn't know you needed. We've got Talk Tennis podcast with me, Michelle, and then we have Second Serve podcast with Carolyn and Aaron. This is a different podcast, but I'm very excited to be doing it with both of you. And tennis has brought us together and continues to bring us together. And today we're recording this on October 1st. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And Carolyn and I have something in common. And Aaron, you're just a badass, awesome friend supporting. Yes. And so we're going to talk about breast cancer today and tennis.
Yes. And how it relates to tennis. You wouldn't think it would, but it certainly does.
It's absolutely wild how much tennis actually has to do with everything.
Yes.
So I don't know how we want to start out. I don't know if you want to dive into your diagnosis story and kind of like weave a picture and let us know how it looks. It sounds like we both have diagnosis stories that revolve around tennis, of course, because we're tennis players always.
Michelle, do you want to start with yours since you're actually in the trenches?
I'm in it, guys. I am in it.
You're in it. And does everyone around you know it?
Yes. So, well, not everyone. I don't know. I found a lump and I probably should have said something sooner than I did. And it was one of those things that growing up as a high-level tennis player, I've actually always had a very interesting relationship with my body. And so when I saw my lump, I just assumed that I had gained weight. And a lot of times they tell women, give yourself a couple months, a couple period cycles, and, you know, it will probably go away. And instead of, you know, taking a second look, I was like, let's train harder, run more, do more, try to figure this out and make it go away. And in June, it was actually Friday the 13th, is when I said something and spoke up. And I could not get anyone to see me. And I was actually told I couldn't get an appointment for a mammogram until October.
Yeah,
so
that
ironic.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I was calling everywhere. And I finally had a nurse call me back. And she's like, I need you to be seen. Call this number. If they can't get you in, go to urgent care. So I got my initial breast exam at urgent care from the sweetest PA ever. And she just said, yes, you have a lump. It was obvious my tumor was 2.7 centimeters. I don't think this is cancer. It's not presenting like cancer. And
That's
I'm like,
good.
okay, you know, like that will hold me over until I get my mammogram and ultrasound. In the meantime, life is going on, obviously. And in the back of your head, you're like, okay, this is fine. We're just going to think positive. I had been invited to go to Wimbledon with Babala and then go to Europe for at our Tennis Warehouse Europe offices. And so my mammogram ultrasound was the day before my trip to Wimbledon.
No.
Yeah.
Yep. This is eerily similar to what we're going to get into with Carolyn. So
I go in. I literally remember putting on the pink gown, and you're just sitting there. You're like, really? Yeah. And I even like snapped a photo. Like this could be my last moments before I know I have cancer. And I kind of, you know, I don't know, Carolyn, if you felt this way. I was like, yeah, this is cancer. Like it's fine. We're gonna handle it. It will be fine. So I start the ultrasound. They come in to give me my results. The doctor, the radiologist comes in and he goes, I know you. And I'm like, oh, you know, it's a small town. And then he's like, no, I know you. I watch your Tennis Warehouse.
Oh, that's amazing.
And he's like, I am so sorry to say, like it looks like you have a cancerous tumor. And I was kind of like, okay. And he's like, and unfortunately it's spread to your lymph nodes. And that was what was like, oh shoot.
Yeah.
That one really got me. And he was like, we need to set up a biopsy and all this. And I'm like, well, I'm going to Wimbledon tomorrow. And he's like, I'd really wish that you weren't. And then the PA was like, well, she couldn't get an appointment tomorrow anyways. So went to Europe, did my thing, didn't sleep.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
No sleeping. Yeah.
Came back the day later, did my biopsy. They knew my tumor was cancer right away. And then, the rest is a lot of a story. And as you know, once you start, it's scary and there's a lot. You have appointments, you have 3 oncologists, you have MRI, PET scan, blood tests, genetic testing. Yeah. So it spiraled from there. I keep joking this summer I had cancer. But now we're going to the fall. I had cancer.
This summer I had cancer.
And so I told my team. They found out after I did my MRI that I had 2 lymph nodes that were infected, which it sounds like you had more. Okay, overachiever over there.
Right. You don't want to achieve in that.
Yeah,
respect.
You don't want to be an overachiever in cancer. Yeah.
2 days before I had my port surgery, they did a last minute, you never do this in breast cancer, but they ran my oncotype before because I was presenting to not have benefit from chemo. My oncotype came back very low, and all of my other tests, genetic testing was very low for reoccurrence. So they pulled the plug on chemo, and then that's a whole nother story. This could take hours to get through. Right. So I'm going to pass the baton.
Yeah.
Carolyn, what were you working with?
What happened with me is that, Aaron, I don't know if you know this or not, but
I'm sure I do. But go ahead.
You probably do, and I forgot that I told you.
Yes.
Aaron called me and said, so I had the biopsy on Wednesday. I had gone in and had a mammogram, a biopsy at 40. And on that Friday, Aaron called me and said, have you checked your email? We got invited to be in the president's suite at the U.S. Open. And so I was on cloud 9. I mean, we got to go to the U.S. Open with friends. It was going to be my first time.
Right.
And now we were going to get to...
We didn't know that at the time, but it happened to be Serena Williams.
Her last match? Was it her
last match?
Against Isla Tomljanovic.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, there was... we were going to get to interview the USTA president. There was all this stuff coming up, and we were super excited. I had the biopsy on Wednesday, and nobody had called me yet, and they told me they would have results by the weekend. And so it was Friday, and I was like, I'm doing great. Let me give a quick call to the nurse, make sure that's all good, and then keep going. And I left a message for her, and she called me back, and I remember she said, we know you have cancer. We don't know all the information yet, but you'll get it in my chart this weekend. It looks like it's stage 3, and we'll contact you on Monday. And
have a great weekend.
Nice. Thanks.
Have a nice weekend.
Bye.
Yeah, have a good weekend. And I remember thinking I went from the highest high to lowest low in a matter of 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So it was such a crazy experience from there. I had also at 37, I had felt something. So I'm 43 now, but at 37, I had felt something, and I had went in for a biopsy and or mammogram, ultrasound biopsy, and they said it's PASH. It's nothing to worry about. For a year, every 3 months, I went back and had a mammogram, and then they discharged me and said, come back at 40. And so it was just, I really wasn't worried. The way you kind of knew, I didn't know.
You were the opposite,
And that's so crazy. And I even questioned, should I go to the U.S. Open? So I went through this.
Went, though, right? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
We did
and thank
all
goodness. I think
things.
Michelle, I don't know how you feel, but take the trip.
No, absolutely take the trip. And that...
Do everything.
Yeah. And it was one of those things where I was like, this could be, you never know. And
but still get the experiences. I mean, Carolyn is an early to bed girl, and we stayed up. I don't want to fast forward through the story, but we were still at the US Open at 1:30 in the morning one night on Friday night. And I think I looked at you at 11 something, and I was like, how are you feeling? She's like, keep going. Let's go. And she normally would be in PJs and in bed by 9. And she didn't sleep at all. That whole weekend, I know when we were in New York, she was getting up, I'm saying that in air quotes, at 5 because she is super healthy and she works out even when she's on the road, but she just wasn't sleeping all night. So we saw her at 7 for breakfast, and she's like, oh, I was up at 5 and working out. But we knew it's because she just never really ever fell asleep, because of just that spinning. I mean, that was only 2 weeks before the U.S. Open is when you found out, right?
Yeah. And my husband was very adamant. He's like, you have to go. You have to go. And I'm so glad I did. So,
yeah.
But that was kind of how it all started. And then, it's just been, Michelle knows you don't sleep, you're anxious, you're a part of a club you don't want to be part of.
Mm-hmm. But it's the best club once you're in it.
It's the best club. And
it's
you
crazy.
feel love like you have never felt in your life. So from your tennis family.
Yes.
Yeah. I have goosebumps.
I was telling Michelle off air before we started recording that I was hoping that you would be willing to tell your wig story, Carolyn, when we went wig shopping.
Which, also before you start, Carolyn, you were talking me down because I was ready for you guys don't even know. And we're going to talk about the mental game of it all and how it relates to tennis. But I was so prepared. I think I don't know if I told you, but I was like, I'm going to be a pumpkin spice chemo girl. I was getting a red wig that was all short. So I was all in it. And it's not that I said, no, I'm not doing chemo. It didn't work for me. But it's weird sometimes being the cancer girl that still has her hair. But I want to hear the wig story. Sorry.
Well, because people don't know that you're going through it. I think it's very obvious to people when they saw me, because even though, I got a wig, it was so amazing. Aaron came with me. So another tennis friend, my friend Teresa, came with me, and they made it a super fun experience.
Yeah.
So something that would be really hard for me, they made it fun. And I'll start crying. I don't even want to.
I know, exactly. We've done a lot of.
Aaron was like, I'm going to be very honest with you if I don't like it. And I was like, perfect.
Good.
Well, see, okay, so
I'll
tell
do you still have it? I'm like, wait, what?
Oh, yeah.
She got 2, actually. Well, she got one with a hat with a hair, which looked super cute. But I'll tell you, when we showed up, so I'm just kind of obsessed with wigs anyway. I don't know why I don't have one, but I'll watch wig videos and they're so crazy.
I'll give you mine, Aaron.
Okay.
I'll send you
but
the
then
link
I would
to
have
the
to be a
pumpkin
brunette. But they have all these toppers now, and it's just crazy. It's a culture of wearing wigs now. We've just sort of. But we went early because we're early girls, so we went because you had to have an appointment to go to the wig shop, and all 3 of us pull up separately in our 3 separate cars, and we get out and we have a little meeting. I don't know if you remember all this, Carolyn, because you were in the thick of it. We had a little meeting in front of the door, and I was kind of I hope they don't see that we're being weird out here standing, before our meeting time. I mean, before our wig scheduled time or whatever. And Carolyn was like, listen, I brought you 2 because you will be honest with me and do not let me spend this kind of money if I'm going to look stupid, right? So, and I told her, I said, I am very fearful. I'm not going to like anything.
Yes, I remember that.
Right? You remember? I was like, this is going to be bad. I'm really nervous. And we went in there, and first of all, it was spectacular, how good they looked on her. She put some on. You still had your hair at the time. You hadn't started chemo by then.
Yeah.
She got it before she actually had lost her hair. And they matched it. You would not even know that it was not her hair.
Well,
I was
awesome.
Blown away. So I was like, get all the wigs. I'm so impressed. And then Teresa, our friend who went with us, was trying them all on.
She's the blonde wig.
She's Asian.
She has dark hair. And she has
blonde wig.
I would have gone. That's what I would have done. It extremes. This
it
is
ended
not
up
me.
being fun for such a stressful. Carolyn knew what was I don't want to start crying, but she knew what was ahead. So she did. She got a great wig, and the hat, which she wore, I think, a lot with.
But it was my tennis friends stepping up.
Yes,
so many times with everything.
Yeah.
Going through everything, it was tennis people. I don't know if you felt the love, Michelle, from tennis people, but there's something about this amazing community that, they got me through it. All my tennis friends did.
That's cool. Yeah. Mine's a little different because I don't play on a team, but I do coach a team.
You do coach, yeah.
Which, so telling... Yeah, I actually didn't think I would coach this season before cancer. I was like, no, it's too much. And I'm not going to lie to you. Some people try to figure out where and how everything happens to cause this. And the first thing anyone will ever say is you're never going to find out the root cause. But I will be completely honest. I've been running myself pretty ragged the last 3 to 5 years. I think coaching, adding that in was a lot. So I had already decided I did not want to do it. And my athletic director was like, one more year. And he's going to retire after this season. So I was like, 1 more year. Fine. I kept saying, I'm like, I don't know my why. I need to know my why if I'm going to do this. Long story short, his wife, I joke, is my cancer fairy godmother. I genuinely believe she is the reason why I'm coaching this team, because the second I told him about my diagnosis, and I had no idea his wife went through it, he was like, talk to Jenny. She's amazing. She will walk you through every single step. She will be there when you need her. Like, whatever you need, don't feel like you have to like be a friend back. Like, she's going to be there. And like, if you go through our texts, like paragraphs, I literally would copy paste what she would tell me, send it an email to my mom and my sister, like, hey, here's what's going on now. And like, oh, I owe so much to her because it's overwhelming. And I don't know how anyone would navigate it without knowing what to do. Because you're just thrown in it. Like, you literally get your biopsy results and then they connect you with a surgeon and you're like, oh, a surgeon, this is crazy. I'm going to have surgery. And then they're like, no. But now you meet your medical oncologist. Now you meet your radiation oncologist. And it's like all these things. And like, no joke. It's like, okay, chemo's happening next week. Get your port, get your CT scan, get this. And then you're like, okay. And you don't even, and I'm sure for you, I don't know, maybe not. But for me at the beginning, I was like, I will do anything and everything to get this out of me and be fine.
Yes, absolutely.
And you're terrified. And like, I cried every day. Every morning I went to work, I cried. And then just let it all out. And like, sometimes I'm usually one of the first ones in our office. Sometimes someone would ask me something and I would just lose it. Just crying. But so I had, yes. And my girls team, I didn't know, when I thought I was getting chemo, which I was like, okay, they're going to see that I don't have hair. I have to explain.
Yeah.
So I did share it with them at the beginning of the season. It's very cute. They have been so supportive. On their tanks, they have a pink breast cancer ribbon embroidered on. They wear pink on their pink ribbons on every match, pink in their hair. They rallied. And they have no idea, that's what I was going to say also. 1 in 8 right now are diagnosed with breast cancer. So I have 14 girls on my varsity team. One of their moms have gone through it. So it's like, that like this is going to affect them. So it's like you want to share, you want to be a positive role model in that way. But it's weird because some days you're just like, I just want to get through this day. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. It's so hard. It's so hard. I was really lucky because you were talking about there was someone that led you through it. My sister-in-law is a cancer navigation specialist. So if I had not had her, when I got my results on that Saturday, I would have been completely lost because you don't know how to read anything. You don't understand what it's saying. You don't know what anything means. It would have been terrible like that. It just is so hard. It's so hard for everybody. It's hard for everybody involved. But you start saying you have it, and then you realize, or you're going through this, so many other people have too. I mean, just people that are on my tennis team have had it. There's a girl that I went to college with. She got it at 35 and was able to walk me through everything. I mean, you meet these people that just support you and help you through it. I remember, Aaron, do you remember this? You captained a singles team. And I was on the singles team, and they won the state championship. And at states, they put Jen made tattoos,
temporary tattoos. Yeah, one of our opponents that we were playing in one of the matches came up to us after the match, and she said, "I saw that you had a breast cancer tattoo on. I also went through it. Please tell your teammate, that if she wants to reach out." I mean, this was a complete stranger, and was like, if she needs any support, she was. That woman was amazing too, but she was, I think my friend Canna played her, and she ended up taking a selfie with her because we just adored her so much. She was just awesome.
Yeah. And it was so good to hear these good stories of like, hey,
absolutely.
There's somebody 10 years older playing tennis at the state championship, and that, maybe 10 years from now, that'll be me. We have one more episode with Michelle where we discuss how our tennis community helped us through the difficult times. Michelle is going through radiation appointments every day. So if anyone listening would like to send Michelle a motivational quote or positive vibes or has any questions for her, she told us we could give her contact information. If you'd like to hear the complete interview, we've included a link to the Talk Tennis podcast and YouTube channel. Thanks so much for listening, and hope to see you on the court soon.